Get great deals on the latest phones, tablets, and business apps with O2 Business. Hey guys, you're watching BTech. I'm Basil. This is an HTC 10 and you're watching a 48-hour review. In fact, I've had this for a little bit longer and I can very briefly give you an insight into what my full review will contain. Design, when I first got it, I didn't love it. It was a little bit kind of like chunky, blocky. Actually, it's grown on me a lot in a few key ways. So first off, having used it alongside an iPhone 6s, screen to bezel ratio is actually very good on this thing. 5.2 inches. It's not a huge beast. It sits pretty comfortably in the hand. The flat sides mean easy to grip, curved backing, curved smoothly. It is heavy. It is definitely heavy. That gives it a degree of gravitas, so anyone who's looking for a real gadget, this is definitely that. And the design is bold. I commend HTC for doing something a little bit different. I still prefer the M9 in a lot of ways, but yeah, it's not as kind of overbearing as I thought it would be when it first launched. Available in 3 colors. I've seen the silver version, I've seen the black version. I can't recall having seen the black front, silver back version, but definitely check them out. I personally probably prefer the silver one because this one attracts fingerprints a little bit, but yeah, definitely check them out in the flesh if you are thinking of picking one up. Right, onto that screen. Like I said in the early previews, it does show a little bit of red hue off angle. What's really nice about it is that you can customize the white balance to a degree. It isn't really termed white balance as such. It's display mode. So if I scroll down, color profile even, I can see I can have it in vivid or sRGB, and you can also set them to warmer or colder. As a result, I've cooled my screen down quite a bit, but still off angle you get a slight red hue. Really good head on. Off angle, like I said, if you're in a group you're going to notice it, and it's not the best screen experience. Off the bat, I prefer the S7 and S7 Edge displays. Still, Quad HD, plenty sharp head-on, stuff looks great. Inside the screen, Android 6.0 customized heavily by HTC. Yeah, not so much actually, customized just right. So HTC has skinned it with Sense. Sense has blink feed, Sense has home screen, Sense has an applications tray. Sense is really nice and quick and responsive, and it hasn't slowed down. Haven't even had any applications force close on me, which is pretty good going considering how much I have been using this thing in the last 2 days. But I will say there are a couple of things I'd really like to see in Sense. First off, I would like to be able to have folders that had more than just 4x4 icons. I can't have another icon in my tools folder, for example, and that annoys me because I have more tools such as admin, so I can fair enough drag that to Google folder, but you know what I mean. It's just annoying. The HTC off the top of my head are the only ones that do that. I'd also like folders to have a little plus icon when you come to edit them. They have this on Samsung now, they have it on Huawei devices and Motion UI, and it makes a really quick job of adding folders. You just checkbox the icons you want. In addition, the other thing I really want is to be able to resize my home screen grid. 4x4 is just too few. There is way too much wasted space on here. So HTC, if you're listening, pow. Otherwise, incredibly smooth, incredibly silky, incredibly little like lag in general across not just the user interface but applications as well. What that leads me to believe is between the Snapdragon and the optimizations HTC's applied, Boost Plus, etc., bam with a thumbs up. Now, as far as the camera goes, I've been getting very good results. It's been super enjoyable to use. I took it out to, I've taken loads of pictures of my cat, shocker. Black and white cats aren't being adopted as much because their details aren't picked up by phone cameras. Yeah, the HTC 10 actually doesn't struggle too much with that, which is really cool. So it's takes a really decent picture in automatic mode. What's also great about it is the fact that outdoors, when you give it good light, that was all indoors by the way, with pretty terrible lighting, you can get some really nice pictures. Took this picture of a duck in Hyde Park yesterday. Zoom in up close. So between the modes being improved, so if I jump into the camera I can pull down from the top, quickly access my pro mode, Zoe camera, etc. right from the top. Pro mode, I can manually focus, manually set everything. So between the mode access being improved and the actual photo quality from the 12 megapixel Sony sensor being so good by comparison to that on the HTC 10, I'm sorry, M9. I'm really loving this whole experience. The front camera as well, oh, it's too good. It focuses on my face, I see pores, I cry a little bit, but actually it's a really good reflection. In fact, autofocus and image stabilization is on there too, means in low light it really does perform well. They aren't just letters that are stitched together to add marketing oomph to the phone. Is it better than the S7 and S7 Edge? Well, it's too early to tell. It definitely stacks up well against it. I've only seen the pictures on screen, and detail's really good on it. Low light performance really good, so watch this space. We'll do a more in-depth camera comparison to give you something that we can really stand up against. But what we are going to say is the gaming performance on this is great. I went on a little bit of an RPG bender, and I've got like all my Final Fantasies, and I've got all Dragon Quest, Chaos Rings, Nova 3 as well. So these are big games. The reason I can get them on is because I've fused a 64 gig memory card in with the internal memory, resulting in a huge amount of storage, and because of the SD card adoption, it's just brilliant. Performance, Snapdragon 824 gig RAM, haven't had any issues with heat either, even when gaming, so that really is just killing it. Wi-Fi has been a little bit patchy, but I've only really noticed that underground, where Wi-Fi is patchy anyway here in London. At home and when you're when I've been in the office, it's all tended to be sweet as. So bringing me on to battery, the battery life doesn't seem to be as good off the bat as the S7, but you know what's really great? It charges super fast, like super fast. Really happy with the speeds I'm getting. So the textbook figure is 30 minutes will give you 50%. It doesn't take that long to get to 100. So if you can just charge it like 20 minutes in a day, or even half an hour, then you will have loads left by the time the day is up. Still, it could get you through a day if you have a good amount of screen off time. The screen off time was great on this thing. What really kills it is the screen on time. So that's my initial impression of this HTC 10. Had it now for over 48 hours. If you've got any questions, anything you want me to try out as I use it for the next few days, because everyone who watches BTech knows we won't review a device unless we've been using it for at least 5 days, let us know in the comments section below. Like the video, click like the channel, subscribe. It's how you'll be staying on top of everything we do, including everything on the HTC 10. Thanks for watching. Get great deals on the latest phones, tablets, and business apps with O2 Business.